I'm Cameron Catapusan, this is Crash Course World History, and today we'll be talking about Yemen and how it has contributed to the Arab Spring. And no, the Arab Spring is not a fancy bottled water, it's actually a massive revolution.
Cameron, this is going to be an unfunny Crash Course video where I have to think about the world complexly?
Oh Tim, my screenwriter, scriptwriter, and recording guy. Yes. So today in Crash Course, we'll be talking about Yemen and the revolution that had been taking place there. So you may have been wondering, well, how did this revolution in Yemen take place? Well, it all started with President Ali Abdullah Saleh. Now, President Saleh has been president for 33 years. That's kind of a long time. And citizens wanted him to step down. People believed that his son would take the role of the new president, but he declared that this was not possible. During this time, Yemen was not in a really strong state. Security forces cracked down, often violently, on protests against President Saleh, which began in late January. In parallel, a power struggle developed between rival factions loyal to Mr. Saleh, Glen Ali Muhsin, and the powerful Ammar family. And welcome back, guys. So, even before this, Yemen was facing several daunting security challenges. In the north, government troops have been battling Houthi rebels belonging to the minority Shia Zaidi sect, through a truce was signed in February 2010. In the south, they fought separatists who lost a civil war in 1994. Southern Yemen is also home to Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, also known as AQAP. Considered by some the most threatening branch of the international Al-Qaeda network. The political chaos in Sana'a was given Islamist militants more freedom to operate. So to help me talk about the Arab Spring, I have my friend here, and we'll be talking about it because some of you might not know what it is. So, what is the Arab Spring?
The Arab Spring is a revolutionary wave of demonstrations, protests, and wars occurring in the Arab world and began on December 18th of 2010.
Now, what are some places that have had these Arab Spring uprisings?
Well, to date, rulers have been forced from power in Tunisia, Egypt, Libya, and Yemen. Civil uprisings have been erupted in Bahrain and Syria. Major protests have broken out in Algeria, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Morocco, and not to mention Sudan. And minor protests occurred in Lebanon, Mauritania, Oman, Saudi Arabia, Djibouti, and Western Sahara.
I see. So, many Arab Spring demonstrations have been met with violent responses from authorities, I've heard, yeah?
Yes.
As well as from pro-government militias and counter-demonstrators. These attacks have been answered with violence from protesters in some cases. A major slogan of the demonstrations in the Arab world has been Ashab Yurid Isqat Nizam. The people want to bring down the regime. Some observers have drawn comparisons between the Arab Spring movements and revolutions of 1989, also known as the Autumn of Nations, that swept through Eastern Europe and the Second World. In terms of their scale and significance, others, however, have pointed out that there were several key differences between the movements, such as desired outcomes and the organizational role of the internet technology in the Arab Revolution. So guys, for Crash Course, let's take a recap. So, January 27th, thousands take to the streets in Sana'a, and southern cities urging President Saleh to quit. Weeks of mass protests follow. The 18th of March, 52 protesters killed by snipers. Mr. Saleh declares state of emergency. The 21st of March, several senior army commanders defect to join the protesters. The 23rd of April, Mr. Saleh says he will stand down within weeks. He later appears to oppose the deal. May 24th, clashes erupt between Saleh loyalists and tribal groups. Thousands die in days of fighting. The 3rd of June, shells hit presidential compound, injuring Mr. Saleh. He leaves the country for treatment. September 18th. Government forces launch crackdown on protester camps. More than 50 die in 2 days. The 23rd of September. President Saleh returns to Yemen. And November 23rd, President Saleh signs deal to transfer power to Vice President. Crash Course World History was provided by Tim Yen and Cameron Catapusan. Thanks to Tim Yen for being the screenwriter and also the scriptwriter and also being the recording guy. And also thank you to Mr. Nolan and Miss Overstreet for letting us create this current event 3. I'm Cameron Catapusan. This is Crash Course World History. I'll see you later.